Hello, hello, it's Carrie with Lemia Fox Jewelry and Art. I'm back and I wanted to show you. I've let these pieces dry, so I'm going to go ahead and do the next part, which is, which I will show you, is a little magical. I love this part. I'm going to take this. Okay, so I have some Distress Crackle Paint Clear Rock Candy from Tim Holtz Ranger. Yeah. And what I'm gonna do, I'm going to take my brush and I'm gonna go ahead, slather this on. So what ends up happening is, well, this is crackle, but what ends up happening is it takes the color that you've put on and it spreads that color all around and evenly distributes the patina on the book. It's doing its magic. And this is the Distress Crackle. So this is going to put a really nice finish on. And I'm going to put a lot on there because I really do want a good vintagey look to be happening on here. And I do try to be pretty consistent with how I'm putting it on. I do need to make sure to get up around the corners, so that is something. I'm going to take some of that off of there. You can see how this is starting to really look pretty amazingly cool. So what I like about this is that it leaves a nice finish, gives it a nice finish, and it's going to be pretty cool. Okay, so I think I've done that side well enough. You do want to make sure to keep a good even coat on the sides. You don't want it to be gloppy on the edges, that's for sure. So do make sure to get your edges really well. Okay. So that is that done. And so you can see how much of a difference that makes. The magic is right there, but when this dries, it's going to give it a crackle. It's going to do a little bit of a crackling thing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll fast forward through the process of doing this, and then we'll go to the spine. But I am going to clean off this table really quick first. So like I said, I'm going to fast forward through this part, but I wanted to talk a little bit about this medium that I'm using. I really do like using this medium, and the more you put on, the more crackle effect you're going to get. So that's why I kind of slather it on, and you will see that, and I think you can see that when as we move forward. One of the things is that you can use other mediums to seal this in. And by doing that, it really helps to give you a really nice patina over the whole book and to really get that color all around. And using the crackle medium, it's kind of hard to see it from here, but using the crackle medium, you really get a beautiful aged look that that really adds a lot to any project that you're doing that you want to have a good age to. So keep that in mind when you're deciding on what medium to use. So here is what we have. Right here, you can see the kind of crackly happening. This one needs to still dry, but you can kind of see it's starting to do the crackly thing. So I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit and dry, and I'll be right back. So after letting that sit to dry for a bit, my daughter actually unexpectedly came, and so I finished filming this even though the kids were downstairs making all kinds of noise. My wonderful daughter came and brought me some nice little buttons to just to support her, and so you can see those in the corner there. I'm going to go ahead and do the faux leather spine, and the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to glue down the fabric that we have colored and made to look kind of leathery-ish. It doesn't look leathery yet. That's really where the magic of using the crackle medium comes in. But first I'm going to go ahead and put down the spine, and so I'm using my Fabri-Tac, and again I'm going to make sure that as I put this down, I put a generous amount of glue down, but then I also make sure to smooth it out just to make sure that there aren't any big bunches of glue that are going to come through on my fabric. If there are, then it will come through, and it does kind of ruin the effect that you have with the medium. So I'm trying to put this down equally on either side. I always eyeball it. I'm not very good. As you put it down, you're going to want to make sure to really, really get your material, getting it down in the corners. Once you've really gotten it all the way down and you're happy with that, then you're going to want to go ahead and get these little flaps on the side. And I always do it this way because then I know right where I need to put the glue. So you're going to want to put it on the spine and down into the corners before doing this. And of course, as always, you're going to want to go ahead and put down a generous helping of glue and then smooth it out before putting down your fabric, just to make sure, again, that you don't have any glue seepage, which really does happen. I know this from sad experience. Because it's sad, because what happens is that that your things don't stick to it when there's and then you have this spot and you can't cover it up with ink or anything. So that's why I always say, make sure to do that so that you don't have a problem with any of the glue coming out, because it's just disappointing when you have this thing and you're like, oh, you can totally see that. And maybe it doesn't always happen. Like, maybe there are times when you see something and nobody else sees it just because you made it, but still, you just want to always make sure to try to just keep that smoothed out so that it doesn't happen. And maybe someday I'll get some PVA glue and this will be just a distant memory. I won't be always saying this, but Anyway, so after putting down all of that, of course, we're going to turn it around and we're going to go ahead and put down these little flaps on the top and the bottom so that we can really close this off. And so that's what I'm doing here. And even on this side, I'm always making sure to smooth down the glue, because even though it's not going to be seen on the other side, that's me, that's how I roll. I just always try to make sure that I don't have any of those little little glue bits coming through. So, and again, I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom part. And I'll go ahead and fast forward through this because you guys don't have to see this part. But, I mean, it's just the same old, same old. So while we're fast forwarding through this, I think I'm going to just ask, how is everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing okay. I have been finding that doing some projects has really helped me with being able to kind of cope with everything that's been going on in the world. And so, anyway, okay, here we are. We're back. So this is kind of what we've got, and I'm trying to just make sure that I've put all of this down, and it's very nice. And you can see how big the spine is from here. This is going to be quite a big book. So of course, now we're going to start the magic process, and we're going to go ahead and put some of this fun crackle medium on here. And I really do highly recommend getting this. I got mine on Amazon. I never find this at my Hobby Lobby or at my Michael's. I've never seen it at any of my stores. So I always get this at my at Amazon, on Amazon, and they have this bigger package. I'm going to fast forward through this process because we don't need to see this, you guys know the drill. We're going to slather quite a bit on, and we're going to make sure to get it all over on the on all parts of here. And you can kind of see, this is why I think it's so magical, because you really start to see it changing like right before your eyes once you put the medium on. And again, this is a crackle medium, but you can use, like, Liquitex has a good matte or glossy medium finish, and you can use whatever kind of medium you want to use. What this is really doing is kind of sealing in what you've done, and it's also helping to make the colors really blend in to all over. Because, like, when you're looking at it and you're like, okay, that's a painted piece of fabric, and then you put this on, and I just really feel like this is where the magic happens. And so yeah, I love this part. You're thinking this is an ugly duckling, and then you get the matte medium on, or the crackle medium on, and it really just makes this project to where it's like, wow, this is unbelievable. I love this. I hope you had fun watching this process and getting to see the magic. This is, for right now, I'm going to stop right now, and we'll go ahead and let this dry, and I'll be back, and we will do a little bit more decorating. Thanks for watching. Bye.